Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. How are you? Hello, guys. Good evening. Hello, everyone. I'm pretty excited about tonight's program. How are you? Who's going to be the first to join? Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Gift. Good evening, Gift. How are you today? I hope you're okay. Thank you for joining. Julie's here. Thank you. Oluwatoyin, good evening. How are you today? Thank you for joining. Thank you, guys. Seth, how are you? Good evening. It's nice to have everybody on board. My special guest is also here, Chioma. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. So, guys, please share this. This is going to be an exciting program today. It's going to be exciting for so many reasons because I have passionate ladies about a subject matter that is really close to our hearts, and we're going to discuss it with you guys. We're going to share our opinion. I know that you have seen that it is reflections, and usually we do a reflection on all the series once the series is ended, but on this occasion, we are going to reflect on a series that is still playing right now. In fact, we just started yesterday, but we just don't want to lose the momentum. We know that this is very important, and Chioma has kindly obliged to join me. So my special guest today, as you all know her, she's Chioma, and she's our DSA book lady in Nigeria. And she's so much more. Excuse me, Chioma, she's not just a book lady. This is one of the things that we don't like to say, but I'm just saying this so that you can remember who she is and you'll be able to understand who I'm talking to. Okay, Gubar, good evening. How are you? Thank you. Obaubat Taiwo, good evening. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. Evangelist Raymond, how are you? Raphael, good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you, guys. I am really excited. Tonight's program is going to be centered around reflection of the teachings of Dr. Sunday yesterday. The title of that teaching was How to Overcome Spiritual Attack, Why Satan Attacked People. And, you know, we're not even talking about the whole subject. We're just taking one area, and that area is marriage and children. You know, this area is one area that is so huge, and we feel like we can't wait until the program, or should I say the series, finishes. We are going to start this discussion right now. So I hope you guys will engage with us. Julie Ngoya is right there, and she's already welcoming you. So if you want to join us, you can also join us. I'm going to call Chioma on the phone so that we will discuss this. It's like two friends having a chat, and you guys are in on it, and also you guys can also join us. I think that this is going to be great. Somebody's here trying to make me laugh. So guys, I welcome you. You know what you need to do, guys. Please do the honors, and the honors is please share. Number one. Number two is also tag a friend, 2 or 3 or 4. Tag as many friends as possible, at least 5. And how do you tag? Just on the comment section, just write at, as you would do with email, and the name of the person. So no space, at, and the name of the person. Facebook will usually populate the name for you to see, so you can select the names. Once you start writing with each digit that you write in the letter, or should I say each letter that you write, you would see the name of the person you want to invite, and you click on it. That person will be invited, or the person will get a notification that they've been mentioned on this program. So please do so that more people can join us. Stella, good evening. Thank you for joining. Who else do we have here? Ifenyinwa, hello, good evening. Thank you for joining. Lisa, good evening. Thank you so much for joining. So guys, it's going to be really interesting. We want you to engage, especially, you know, this is not for women only, it's also for men. But I think because two women are talking, men might feel like it's for women, but I don't want you to feel that way, because also this is in relation to you. Who do we marry? Who gives us the children or help us with the children? Men. So we also need your contribution on this as well. Dr. Sunday discussed this extensively yesterday, And one of the main topics, or should I say one of the main things that we don't think about as a spiritual attack is having children, getting married and having children. We always think that that's just a blessing. Of course, children are blessing, because I looked at the comments yesterday, and a lot of people are saying children are blessing, this is this. But what happens to our purpose? What happens to the things that God has put in our hearts to do? Why are these things, marriage and children, so pivotal to us? Who put these things in our head? Is this through suggestive, what Dr. Sunday mentioned, this is called suggestive, let me have a look. Yes, is this through suggestion? So is it because family and tradition says that once you finish school, the next thing to do as a woman especially is to get married and start having children? Nobody tells us about our purpose. Nobody tells us about how these things can also hinder us. Although they are blessings, but how they can also hinder us. So we really want to discuss this in depth, and also we want to help with other people, especially the next generation, so that they can be aware of this. We're not anti-children and we're not anti-marriage. In fact, Chioma is married, okay, and she also have children. So it's not just about a single person. So that's why I'm excited about this, because if I discuss this, people might say because she's not married yet, or because she doesn't have children, so that's why she's talking this way. So we have both sides, and we can discuss it, and let's see what will come of it. So guys, I really urge you to please call Julie Ngoya if you want to add to this discussion, or should I say these reflections. Thank you very much. That's Olubumi. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate Oriyomi. Good evening. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that you're joining. Raja, hello. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. So guys, I'm going to give you guys a chance before we start to invite people. Please do it with the tag at and the name of the person or the persons that you want to invite. Please do so. And also you can share, which is sharing, and it will go straight to your page. And if you also invite people individually, I think they usually like that, because they would see that you invite them specifically, just like with the art. Art would just say to them that you're mentioning their name during the program, whereas invite would say you're inviting them to come and join you in the program. So you can do all three. We really appreciate it. Before we forge ahead with this, guys, I just want to remind you that we still need editors, or those who want to learn how to edit. With Dr. Sunday's new programs that are coming out, I think the first one is going to come out on Friday, 9 a.m. Ukraine time, which is 7 p.m. UK, 7 a.m. UK and Nigerian time. I'm used to saying 7 p.m., so I'm sorry about that. 7 a.m. So the first one will come out, I believe, is about I think this one is about innovation that is coming out on Friday. So please, guys, be ready for that. We would also remind you tonight and tomorrow, definitely, we will show you a trailer of what's to come. So we still need editors. Anyone that wants to volunteer to edit for us, please come and write to us at Move Agents. That's MOVE Agents with an S at gmail.com. Then we get back to you. If you're not sure how to edit, you don't know how to edit, guess what? We will also teach you absolutely free of charge. Even if you don't ever use it with us, you can use it to set up a business or start something for yourself. So that's an opportunity right there. I hope somebody will take it up. Hello, Justine. Good evening. Thank you for joining. So how do we start this? I'm going to call Chioma now, but I'm going to start as well with a conversation. And maybe I will talk about being single, and some of the ideas that is put in our heads. Hello, thank you guys. Hello, Chioma, how are you? Hello? Hello, Chioma. Hello, good evening.
Yeah.
Okay, you're very, very clear. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, I have Chioma here. So this will be like friends talking on the phone, or just talking generally. So you can join in as well by adding your comments in the comment section, or even calling us. Prosperous says, what is the time? Okay, I'm not sure what time you're asking me for, but the time that we're going to release the video for the 7 different videos on a daily basis would be 9 a.m. in the morning in Ukraine, which is 7 a.m. UK and Nigerian time, if you're asking for that time. And if you're asking for the time right now, obviously you know the time right now, I don't need to tell you. So I believe that's what you're asking me, but I hope I am right. Right, so Chioma, welcome. First of all, Chioma, I really want to thank you for actually taking this opportunity, and maybe in some ways it's not just an opportunity, but actually having the burden to have this discussion with me and also with everyone that's listening. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Good.
This is one of the topics I'm very passionate about. My husband will tell you that because I discuss this with him almost every night.
Wow. Well, yes, that's really interesting.
I was by really appreciating my husband.
Good.
Truly, he's a true follower of DSA because he has decided to live by the principles of his teachings. I would say that I'm one of the luckiest women in the world today, but despite that, I would not fail to speak about the challenges, the challenges that come with marriage, you know, and the distractions that can come through marriage if people are not careful. Because just like, you know, Pastor exposed to us yesterday, I didn't even know that this could be a satanic attack. You know, when he said that, you know, I just started typing immediately that, oh my God, we've just been wasting time. You know, we think that the society has placed, I don't know, Mayo, I don't know if I'm speaking too fast.
No, you're not speaking too fast. Go ahead. But there will be some things that I would really like to have a break on to share with people, to say, you know, to share, to expand on, maybe I should say. Can I do that? I would like to do that now because I think it's really important. The way that you actually started was absolutely perfect. So I really want to share some things with people that are listening right now. So guys, welcome on board. Thank you very much. We have Chioma here online talking, and we're talking about the satanic attacks that we don't know about. And we're talking in regards to family and marriage and children. And Chioma is a happily married woman. And she just started by praising her husband, thanking her husband, and telling us how wonderful her marriage is and how wonderful she feels to be married to her husband, which is Uchechi Inwegwe. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Thank you. So it's not a case of a woman that is not happy in a marriage, or she feels like she's married the wrong person, or especially not married with her children. She also has 2 children. So if you're there, you're listening, please listen attentively, because I believe that she has a lot to say, and this will help us all as well. So we're discussing in relations to yesterday's teachings. I know we're doing the reflections pretty quick, but we really need to do this because it is burning in us now, and we don't want to have to wait until once the series is finished. So thank you. Go ahead, Chioma.
Okay, yes, I was saying that for a lot of women, and even for me too, it was until I started listening to DSA that I heard about calling. I didn't know I was to do any calling in my life. I was just doing my job, going about my normal business, doing church, getting busy with life, and just, you know, flowing with the trend. But after I listened to Pastor's series on calling, everything changed in this house, not just with me, even with my husband. We had to put our priorities right. For me, prior to now, yes, I had my children. I have two boys, and my job, which was very hectic. So for me, it was just that triangular lifestyle of jumping out in the morning, very early by 5, coming back maybe by 9 or 10, depending on traffic, you know, and having that little time to spend with family, and that's how it is Monday to Saturday. But after we listened to DSA, we started seeing a lot of wrong things that, you know, was happening, and even how marriage could become is a big distraction. And it really, for me, I see this as one of the areas that women globally are being attacked, because the society puts us under a lot of pressure.
Yes.
I know you're of single ladies today who are going to church every day, sowing seeds upon seeds, and all they're praying about is God should give them that husband. And they don't even know how their situation is an enviable one. Because, yes, I am married today. Yes, I am happy. I don't have any issues in my house. But I tell you, if you're single, you're listening to this broadcast this evening, you are so blessed. Why are you blessed? Why are you privileged? You have a lot of time. Because by the time you get into this thing called marriage, in fact, I call it prison without walls.
Wow.
You are stuck in there with a lot of issues. And by the time the children start coming, truly your problems become multiplied. I know when the essay says this thing, it sounds as if, he's coming from another world. But I'm one person that I believe every single thing, because I like to tell myself the truth. I don't believe in deceiving myself, displeasing myself, and trying to make, things look the way it is not. We have to tell ourselves the truth. It is tough. You find out that your time is reduced. You're not able to achieve so much. So many things, because by the time I started listening to the Calling series, I began to see myself in a different light. I have a lot of projects. But by the time the children are running, before me to have this broadcast now, I've told them to lock up the children.
Wow.
You can imagine that. I've told them I told them 4:45, the children are caged in their rooms now. They can't come out. Not as if it's not fun to have those children, but you see, a lot of things that you would want to do, quiet time, it's tough.
Yes. If
I want to have quiet time, it cannot even be in my house. I may have to run away somewhere, go to the office or something, a lot of things. Because of course they need their own attention to, sometimes, you just need that peace and quietness, but you don't get it. Which a single person has. You have a lot of time for solitude, honestly. A lot of times I'm like, oh my God, why did I get myself into this thing? But really, so it's one of the places the devil really attacks us, because we need to begin to embrace this calling thing seriously. The society has lied to us. The devil has stolen from us, and you get in there, your life becomes busy. A lot of women, they have lost their life in marriage. What I mean by that is this. I'm not even talking about the losing of life. I know some people are being killed. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about realizing themselves of who they are.
Okay, Chioma, it's been great. Just hold fire there. Please don't lose your train of thoughts, please, okay? Because I think you're really bringing us some great points and we need to discuss it in depth. So, guys, we're now discussing yesterday's program that Dr. Sunday did at 9 p.m. And it was about satanic attack. You're thinking, what has this got to do with reflecting and family and children? And why is the lady talking the way she is? Well, we realized yesterday that most of the time, or all of the time, especially as women and also men as well, because a man actually called yesterday to testify to this, that even as a man, he was being pressured in his marriage to start having children in less than a year of marriage. So it's not just about women, but of course I have a lady on the phone with me, and also I'm a female, so you might please forgive us, but this has to do with both genders, not just female. So we're talking about how we abandon our purpose on earth and what we're supposed to do in exchange for the dogmas, or should I say now that we know, part of a spiritual attack, especially when we are not ready or prepared, or when we don't know exactly what it entails. So what marriage and what children entails, we exchange them for our purpose. And Chioma here, she's a happily married woman and she has 2 lovely children. She praised her husband at the beginning of this show, so it's not about her not being happy or marriage being a huge discomfort for her, but she realized that in marriage there's a lot of things that she has to abandon or maybe forget about in order to just do the dogma things without actually thinking about it before she got married. She not realizing that this is how life was going to be. So she talked in relation with her calling, that calling was not even an issue or was not even something that was in her agenda. And like her, I think this is for many people, including myself. I was also one of the people that I didn't even know anything about calling until I started listening to Dr. Sunday. You know, when somebody talks about calling, I always talk about destiny or something like that, and I mix it all up, and then it becomes religious, and I don't really know what I'm doing or what I'm talking about. And you know, another thing, and we don't know, and we just keep on going and going with the dogmas, doing the normal dogmas or things that we see or our parents told us to do, going to church. After church on Sundays or Mondays, you go to work. Even when you have the children and you have the husband, you don't really enjoy them, and you think that this is really what you want. I'm going to talk about this in relation to a single person as well, and how that affects a lot of single people. Chioma mentioned it very briefly, that as a single person, we should really enjoy our time for solitude, and some of the challenges she has as a woman with children and is married, that she can't even have solitude in her own home unless the children are not there, or she has to go outside to have solitude because she can't have her time. Not because the children are bad children or they're not fun, it's just because they have demands, and those demands would override even the things that she wants to do, the things that makes her happy, or the things that God has put in her. And she called marriage that prison without walls. So imagine, I think one thing I really want to say about this is that imagine how many millions of people live this way. She talked about work. You know, she leaves home very early in the morning and she comes back really late. And there are many people that this is what they go to school for. They get married, they have children, and this is how they live their life throughout. For maybe they will come to realization of some of the things we're realizing at an older age. Maybe they'll be in their 50s or maybe even in their 60s to come to realization, and then they might feel stuck and burdened. So it's really a good thing that we're talking about this now. If you know anybody that this would help, please let's share this with them. Let's call them to join us in this conversation, and I'm really looking forward to you guys sharing your opinions as well on what we are discussing right now. Thank you. So Chioma, go ahead, please.
Yes, I was saying that for a woman, you stand the risk of possibly losing your life in your marriage if you don't know your calling, if you didn't discover your calling before getting married. My advice to every person listening to this broadcast this evening, if you're still single, this is the time to run into your calling. Just go and download all the series on calling that Pastor has taught us. Listen to them and start living. Because the truth about life is that these things we're chasing after, oh, I need to get married now, or I have to have a job, or I have to have money. Truly, there is no fulfillment in these things. And funny enough, before I started listening to Pastor, sometimes I would ask my husband, you know, when we're having private discussion, I'm like, so what is this thing about marriage? You know, as in, what is special? Because right now, I don't feel like anything special really happening here. But you know, all those butterfly feelings you had before the wedding and all those things, everything disappears. By the time you come to this other you're going to face reality. And by the time the children start coming, it's another story altogether. In fact, there were days we had to practically leave. We spent the whole day in the hospital. We were working. We took excuse from the office, and we were on admission with my son the whole day.
Wow.
Fine, you know, these are the price you have to pay for a child and all that. But, you know, for a lot of people, you know, they're looking at, oh, I have to have this, I have to have that. But there are some pains on this other side too. So wherever you are, whatever the circumstance, the situation, we have to learn to be happy in it. And most importantly, to find your calling. Because for me, my joy, I started living when I had the calling series and I started, you know, retracing my steps. That was when I started finding true fulfillment. And my fulfillment today, I would say, is not in any of these things I have. Be it my children, be it my husband, or anything that I have today, you know. So we need to really deliver ourselves, because after listening to the series yesterday, I'm really excited about this series because I see that a whole lot of people need this. In fact, we need the deliverance.
Yes,
all
we
that
do.
will be for all this time is not the deliverance. This is the real deliverance. The devil, we don't even know his strategy. We don't even know how he's attacking us. We think it's by, I don't know, the things that, putting, some people say they take out stones from their body, and so many things I hear that happen in all those ministries.
Yes.
But this is the attack.
Yes.
When he steals from us by not allowing us to bring glory to God, by not living out the very purpose of our existence, which is the most important thing or the ultimate reason why we're here,
Yes.
So it's important that we realign our priorities, because that's the only time we can find fulfillment in life.
Chioma, fantastic. Please hold on. Let me just read some of the comments and share some of your thoughts with what you shared and my angle on it as well with people. Thank you. Okay, guys. Let's see. Hello, Ireti. Good evening. Hello, Israel. How are you? Thank you very much. We have Gubar here, says, many people bury their calling immediately after marriage. That's really unfortunate, Gubar. And I think this is one of the things as well that we're talking about. And some people don't even think about their calling. They actually think that their purpose in life is to get married and have children. That's it, both male and female. This is not a gender-based challenge or problem. This is a problem that is spread across all genders. I mean, people don't even feel fulfilled until they have children. People don't feel fulfilled unless they have children, they're married. Do you know that the churches as well, as they are, the religious churches are now as well, they're not helping because they're constant singles nights of prayer. There was one ad that Dr. Sunday showed us a few weeks ago, maybe about a week ago, that if you're married, if you're a certain age and you're not married, somebody is sitting on your marriage and all sorts of things. I looked at myself as a woman that if I'm not married, I don't have children. Does that mean that I don't have any value? This is how society treats us, especially if you're from an African background or a traditional African background. You get this all the time. Any age, if you finish school, the next thing they will be asking you is, who's your boyfriend? When are you going to get married? Even men have the same challenge. When are you going to get married? What's happening? Oh, you're getting old. You're going, the joy of life is this. For me, I had that challenge so much that at some point I start to ask the people that are married, they've had children, that, okay, you're married, so what is special about it? What did you gain about it? And because I'm a straight shooter, I had some people honestly telling me that actually you're right. I don't even know why I told you to get married. Especially the women. Some men, actually the men used to, would say, wow, it's true, it's just a waste of time. Or they would tell me something like, I'm happy with my children, I like them, but there's always a but. But initially I used to keep quiet and I'd say, I'll get married soon. But because they always ask and always, challenge me about it, I started saying, okay, this marriage, how is it for you? How did it go? How is it going for you? Are you happy? Is it the best thing you've ever done? And almost 80% of people, there's some people that are pretty strong and say, oh, I'm happy. Yes, there's going to be challenges, but that's how life is. So because of that, you're not going to have children or you're not going to get married. And I say, no, but you're pushing me to do something that, you didn't get what you bargained for. So why do you do it? Or why are you doing it? Why are you still pressuring me? But they don't have an answer. So if you have a story or a similar story or any other story, please share with us. But Gubar, thank you for sharing that. Then Chimezi says, don't raise your daughter for marriage, raise her for fulfillment of purpose. Same applies for your son. Thank you. While they are single, teach them to achieve the things they are expected by God to achieve under the state of affair. And then when they get married, there are things also to attain or achieve for God. It's in phases. I can't read the rest, but it says in your, I think it's circumstances or circle. Thank you very much, Chimeze. That's point. I really like that. Yes, so guys, we're not saying that marriage is bad. We know that our marriage is ordained by God, and we are also not saying that children are bad. I was a child or somebody, and I can't say that it's a bad thing that my parents gave birth to me. I'm grateful to them, and I appreciate that they have done that. So that's not what we're saying. And we also know and we understand that children are really best in the context of marriage, so that two people can bring their values in together to raise a child. So we're not putting down marriage and we're not putting down children. We're just saying that our purpose must be identified, just like Chimeze said. First, a purpose as a single person and a purpose as a married person. Not the focus should not be on marriage and children as soon as you're old enough or big enough to be something. You don't just say that's the next thing that you need to go for. So thank you guys for that understanding. Cecile says, my dear Mayowa, I can't stop weeping as I count the lost years and deep entangled in the consequences of my ignorance. Oh, Cecile, I'm really sorry to hear that, but I also appreciate that you're sharing that with us. Somebody else will be out there that's feeling the same way and they will be encouraged. So I really appreciate you for that. But what I want to tell you is that please, please, please do stop the weeping. Or if you have to weep, I know you have to, but even in everything, my belief is that God make every circumstances turn around for good for you. So I don't think that you need to worry. What's happened has happened, but I believe that God can make it come around for good. And now that you're learning the right way, God will also give you the wisdom and the knowledge that you need to do things and put things right, so that the weeping will be turned to laughter. Thank you so much. Who else do we have here? Chimeze said, the concept of a time for everything under the sun should be put into perspective. There's a place for fulfilling purpose as a single and fulfilling purpose within the frame of a marriage years too. Absolutely, I agree with that in terms of fulfilling purpose as a single person and fulfilling purpose as married person. But the point here is that people are not even looking at purpose at all. Some people's purpose in life is to get married and have children. And furthermore, I don't even think that, my knowledge now, I don't even think that marriage is absolutely necessary or is important for everybody. I mean, let's be adults about this. I know it's after 7 p.m. Sometimes I ask myself that what really is the purpose of marriage? Are people getting married because of sex, or because I don't know, and to have children, or is there something else that is in marriage? I've spoken to some friends and they say that one of the friends that spoke to me that makes sense to me was that there's power into, there's power into making things happen. But that's from a home point of view. I understand that they can plan better, they can plan their future better. But I think planning something, it has nothing to do with necessarily having two people. I think even one person, if you know where you're going, you have a goal, you can plan what you need to do, and you can forge ahead and do it. So when she said that, I understood her, and I kept quiet. But plans is not pertaining to two people. Yes, if two, maybe yes, it says that two would chase 10,000. So one would chase 1,000 and two would chase 10,000. I think that's what she was trying to say to me. I get it, but that too don't necessarily need to be in marriage. That too is marriage in agreement. That too is anybody in agreement. Sometimes you're married, but you cannot, you can't be 10,000 chasing. You will still be like maybe 50, because if you don't agree, if you don't work together, you're just two in body, in biomass, but you're not two working together. So that's a big consideration. You have to agree. And being married doesn't mean that you will agree. So people shouldn't always think that, yeah, because they're two in marriage, everything will work. If your mind is not together, your values are not together, it's not going to work. So, but I didn't have that argument with her. I've had that discussion with uncles that are married, and they tell me that where two are in agreement is where it works, not where two are just together as two. So I hope you guys understand that. But thank you very much, Chimeze. Who else do we have here? Okay, please keep your comments coming. I'm going to go back to Chioma because she's really giving us some excellent points, and I think that we should listen to her. Gift is saying exactly 2 people, but not about marriage. Yes, Uforma, thank you so much for that. 90% it's because children. The true marriage isn't for everyone. Okay, I think what Gift is saying is that 90% of marriage is because of children. Okay, thank you. Gwendolyn, I think it's Turner, is saying walk in your purpose educationally, professionally, and spiritually, and you meet like-minded in your circle. Thank you very much for that. Kenny says every creature has a purpose in life to be fulfilled. Man is there to assist to fulfill the purpose. When you carry and raise kids all your life, when the kids are gone, emptiness sets in. Spend time with your hobby before the kids are born. It was of you, and when they are gone, it will remain two of you. Okay, I think I understand that, Kenny. Thank you very much for that. Paul also say, watch out for a short movie coming soon. Are you responsible? Okay, thank you very much, Paul. We will do that. Uriyomi says, some of us were even made to believe marriage is your calling until God intervention. Oh my God. I think that's what we're discussing. Marriage is your calling. Okay. And Ifoma says, 2 cannot work together except they agree. I think you get my point perfectly, Ifoma. Thank you so much. So I'm going to give there's no microphone, but go ahead, Chioma.
On this issue of marriage,
yes.
Marriage is not compulsory, really. If it was, Jesus would have gotten married before leaving this earth. I think that if we're going to take anybody's standards, he should be our standard.
Wow.
So, yes, if it was compulsory, he would have picked a wife. You know, one man said someone should pick a wife. Let me borrow his terms. Let me borrow his terms, because women are seen now as things that people can pick up, you know, when it's time. Really, I think women, we a lot of teaching, we need to, you know, teach our women what they are. I find out that a lot of women, you know, they are not confident in themselves. Mm-hmm. That's why a woman cannot stay by herself and thinks that she must compulsorily have a man, you know, or live with a man. But if women today are sincere to themselves, they will find out that they would find out that by the time they find themselves in that man's house, that thing, you know, just like what a pastor was trying to explain, is an illusion. You know, it's something you can,
mirage. Yeah,
it's a mirage. You're chasing after that thing. By the time you get it, you see that really this wasn't really what I was thinking. You know, a friend of mine, you know, once told me that sometimes when she wakes up in the night and she looks at her and says, did I really marry this man? Some people don't ask themselves those questions, but they're not going to come out to say it in the open. Now, on the issue of the purpose of marriage, for me, I would say that maybe it's for procreation, because if anybody is saying that you have to have a man, or a man has to have a woman to fulfill their calling, I think I've already disputed that fact by Jesus. Jesus didn't need anybody to fulfill his calling. He just needed his friends, disciples, and we have a lot of people today in this world. I think we have over 7 billion. So if anybody is looking for partners in their business, I think
they will find a like-minded person that has the same passion. Yes.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I
can hear. Okay, I can hear. Should I let you? I'll let you look after them for a minute, but still stay online. But I'll put you on mute while I talk. Yeah, I'll put you on mute. Okay, guys, you've seen there, right there live, the children that were locked up safely. I've just decided to come out and call mommy, and she can't even continue on this program. I mean, we didn't set this up. This is just what happened. But it's not a bad thing, because children, I do believe also that they joy, and I love children, absolutely. And please, I'm constantly saying this disclaimer, because I know that sometimes when I talk so confidently about marriage and children not being so important. Even people that are my friends and my family, they just get it so wrong where I'm coming from. And I don't want you to, because if you're getting me wrong, then you're not going to understand where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to say. So that's the reason why I'm constantly saying marriage is good, children, love them, absolutely love them. I was once a child and I love my childhood, and I wish the best childhood for people, but we're talking here about purpose and some of the spiritual attacks that we believe they are spiritual attacks. First, we discovered that some are not even spiritual attacks. This is God trying to save you and helping you to go onto your purpose, but you don't realize because you're focusing on the wrong thing, and it becomes a spiritual attack. So it's not a spiritual attack if you're not married, if you don't have children. What you need to do is look for your purpose and make sure that your purpose is occupying you and you're not focused on marriage or children. Secondly, when you do marry and do have children, be very aware that that is not your purpose. Those are just bonuses for you to have in life. Children is not a purpose in life, and marriage is not a purpose in life. But of course, when you're gifted with those things, you must look after them. You must take care of them. You must nurture them. So it's not that, okay, you're not my purpose, children is not my purpose, and husband is not my purpose, or wife is not my purpose, then for that reason, I'm not going to look after you, or I'm not going to treat you well. That's not what we're saying here. We still need to look after everything that we've been given. Anything that God gives you, you have to look after them. You have to nurture them in the right way. So please, guys, and male, when I say guys, both male and female, we are saying that these things are good, but they're not our purpose in life. They are not our calling. To be married or to have children is not a calling. It is God's gift, and it's a good gift, but that shouldn't be our focus. Like in life and with things that we can achieve, we all have different gifts from God. Like I might have a gift to be able to speak, somebody else have a gift to be able to write. Does that mean that is their life? No. You have to nurture those gifts, and those gifts have to be something that you work on regularly in order to improve on them. So please, guys, don't get us wrong. Let me read some of your comments before Chioma comes back. We have, you need to empower themselves. Build yourself soon some skills. Yes, Kenny, we do need to empower ourselves. That's very important. So I agree with what Kenny is saying here, because some of the things that we don't do is that we don't empower ourselves, because we're spending so much time worrying about being married or not being married, having children or not having children, that we actually disable ourselves. And that's the true spiritual attack that we are not aware of. We think that the spiritual attack is that we don't have these things, but the spiritual attack is that we are focusing too much on these things, that we're not doing what we're supposed to do in relation to the reason God created us on this earth. God did not create us on this earth just to come and have children or just to have a husband or wife. God created you for a purpose which will benefit the masses, the whole world, including your children and your wife or your husband. So it's not a matter of just that. And Chioma mentioned something that is really important, and I think that we really need to work on. She mentioned it in relation to women, but I think that we should mention it in relation to general, both male and female, which is self-esteem. We lack a lot of self-esteem, especially when we haven't attained these things that the world or society says that we should have, like marriage and children. And how do we come to this where we are lacking self-esteem? We don't even know who we are. And when we don't have these things, we think that we are less of a human being, or we believe that we are less of a human being. I get told that, no matter what I have, if I'm not married and I don't have children, that those things are nothing. But I look around me and I see the people that have those things, and they're not happy. They're not fulfilled. They're still not feeling the way that I expect some. If you say that that's everything, and if I don't have it, I don't have anything. But the people that do have it, they are miserable. And even those children are not turning out well. The marriage is not really good. So how can you tell me that there is something that is not right about this ploy that society is trying to sell to, especially to single people and individuals from a very, very early age? So my urge there actually is to people, to parents, to any adults or anybody in authority, to stop this thing that they do with looking at people that are single, or young people, or even adults that are single, and looking at them and saying, what's happening with marriage? What's happening with children? Why have you not got married? It's nobody, first of all, it's not even your business that you're constantly asking me, what am I doing with marriage, and what am I doing with children? But also, it's really pointless. It's a really pointless type of conversation that you're having with people, where you're projecting what somebody's life should be like for them, and what they should be happy with and what they shouldn't be happy with. So my plea here is that if you're in any place of authority, especially parents, even parents that are in bad relationship and they're not finding benefit in their children, especially when they grow up and they leave home, they are still promoting this, and I don't get it. Let's tell ourselves the truth to ourselves about ourselves. And when we are telling the truth to other people, we should be 100% truthful. Not just tell them that, oh, marriage is good and children is good. Yes, there are good parts to marriage, and there are other parts to marriage as well. But don't just sell it as something that is not, or something that is not true, like a mirage. Please, let's help each other out in this world. Gold V is saying, so right, so miserable. Oh, I'm sorry, Gold V. You shouldn't have to be, and I'm not laughing at you. I'm actually laughing with you. You know, I know that you've got tears there, but you know, I really don't feel like you should, because now you've come to this knowledge and you know what to do, and you know the teachings of Dr. Sunday that will really help you, even if you're in marriage already and things is not going very well. You can go to the family series, please, and you can go to the calling series as well. It's not too late. For me personally, I don't think anybody should really cry about this, but what we should do is look for solutions. And the solutions is part of this discussion, and solution is also taking the right and corrective actions to make things well for you, even if it's not in that marriage, but you can still make things well for you. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, though. Gift is saying, I know one needs to empower another, but can this be possible without an agreement of pursuit, purpose, and calling? This is really serious. Absolutely, Gift. This is a very, very serious matter. But if there's no agreement, it doesn't matter. If there is no agreement, even in marriage or in friendship or in anything, without agreement, nothing would be possible if it's for two people. If it's only one person making a decision, even you have to agree with yourself that you're going to make the best out of this, and you're going to put everything that you have in it. So agreement is a pivotal item or resolve to have in order for you to make anything possible in life. So yes, you also have to agree that this is your purpose, even if it's purpose as well, in order for you to make it happen. Kenny says you need to empower themselves. Okay, I've read Kenny's comment. Thank you very much. Oriyomi says that there is a common saying in my country. I assume that I assume that that's Nigeria. It says that says women education end in kitchen. Wow, I've never heard that before, but boy, that is why some don't hold. That's why some don't go to school before in the past. Okay, even the educated ones are pressured every day until they are made to. Wow. This sounds really mean, to pick whatever man available and get into serious trouble. OMG. That's not good, Oriyomi. That's very dim. So your education ends in the kitchen. I mean, that's really stereotypes and dogmas that we don't believe in, and we know that it doesn't work, and we know that it's not right, it's wrong, and you know, we're not even going to indulge in this one at all. But the fact that some people yield to this, that's what the sadness is about it. But thank you for sharing, Oriyomi. Okay, so I hope Chioma is ready now to continue with us. Hello, Chioma.
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, brilliant. So
you can see what we're saying.
Yes, I know. Everyone was laughing here. I can see the laughter when that happened.
I thought that mean, but it came out. People, you know.
Okay, so continue, please.
Speak again, you know, when we say this thing, so that people would not think that we're saying marriage is bad. How does this attack happen?
Yes.
For a single person, you have your 24 hours for yourself to work with, to apportion it the way you want to. If you want to sleep for 8 hours, if you want to sleep for the whole day, It is up to you. Now, on this side where I am a married person, your 24 hours ceases to be your own. You would now have to be thinking of your children, as if you have your children, your home, how everything is going to run. You'll find out that you're working around the clock, even when you're sleeping. I'm talking for myself. Even when I'm sleeping, I'm awake, my brains are working. You're going to have to wake up many times in your night to check up on everybody, ensure that the house, everything, the doors are locked. You know, there's a whole lot you're getting into this institution that we call marriage. You know, so if you don't, if you don't understand your calling and that which you're supposed to do, you find yourself being busy doing all these activities and not achieve anything for yourself, even for yourself. But that's why it's so important for anyone, before you cross over to this other side, get hold of your calling and start functioning in it, so you would know what to give time to and for how long. If there are some of those activities that you may need to hire someone to do, perform for you. Because in our African context and culture, a lot of women, married women, are not even allowed to get support. This is being fought.
They're not allowed to get support?
Yes, they're not allowed to.
How? I mean, I don't understand that.
I mean support, but people living in your house or people coming in to assist you with one or two.
Okay, like help, somebody to help you with the children, and so they're not allowed.
Yeah. Wow. For some people, they're expected to be withdrawn from their jobs so that they can start attending these things I'm talking about. Now, imagine when someone has not discovered her purpose. So you find out that you're going to spend your whole life just running around doing these activities, attending to the kitchen problems, attending to the children, from morning to night. That's all you're going to be doing. From washing, you're cooking, you're going to the market, and those are the things you find out that with time you start burning out. But beyond all that, if you fit in, if you understand that, hey, I have an assignment, God has, put something in my hands to do, you would know how to apportion this time. And for a married person, it's a whole lot of strategizing.
Yes.
And a whole lot of calculation that goes in there. Married people on the platform will bear witness with that. So, single people, you're so blessed, and I'll keep on saying that. So this is not the time for you to start feeling sorry for yourself, going for any prayer meetings. Go and use your time, discover yourself, because in fulfilling your calling, there is time for preparation. Yes. So for me right now that I'm married, I'm now trying to prepare myself and juggle up with these activities at the same time, and it's really tough, I must say. It's really tough, but not to complain, but that's for us to, bring out this reality of these things. Because at the end of all these activities, what God counts as important is that which He has committed to us to do.
Yes.
So all these other ones are secondary, really. They are really, really secondary. So it's for us to really, sit down and, tell ourselves these truths. Today, I want to even say, let me talk about my mom a bit, because one of the times she came to visit, I was asking her, okay, mom, she's a general practitioner, but she's retired now.
Okay. That's a GP, a doctor, right?
Yes,
okay.
a medical doctor.
Okay.
And her friends that we came in contact when we were growing up, they used to tell us, oh, your mom was so brainy, she used to come first in the class and all that. And we expected more from her. So I started asking her, Mommy, what happened? You didn't even specialize, you didn't go into any area of specialization. She said, if I had done that, how was I going to be able to train new people? She said because of the children, she had to give up her profession and end just a general practice. Wow. I said, but Mommy, so how do you feel now? She said, well, I've achieved one thing, at least all of you turned out well. I said, but Mommy, that's not an achievement.
No.
Yeah,
it's good, but
it's giving her the fulfillment is, all of you turned out well, but I'm like, you deny the world of much more
Yes.
that you have given to your society, to your world.
Yes.
And that's another thing we need to come to terms with. We are here beyond our immediate family. For people today that are thinking, oh, I'm married now, but I'm looking for children, I'm 10 years, excuse me, please.
Yes.
Children are not only ones that you bring out by yourself. In fact, after listening to some series during the summer fast, where a pastor was saying, by the time your children are 10, already my son is 5 now, and I'm already coming to terms with it that, oh, in another 5 years, he will be out of my house.
Yes.
By the time these children are, they're not going to live in your house with you.
Yes, they'll be going to school. Yes.
So if that was your joy, what's going to be your joy then?
Exactly, and that's another point I wanted to raise. Sorry, Chioma, that I had to cut in here. That, that's actually putting their achievement on somebody else's approval. So your achievement is not on you anymore, because by saying that you guys have turned out good, what if you didn't turn out good and she tried her best with you? So she would have felt like failure then. Because sometimes people try all their best and the children don't turn out good. So would that mean that the best wasn't best? It doesn't. It actually means that you're not taking responsibility for yourself. You're putting all the burden on your children, and your children have to be the one to their lives, which is still ongoing, have to prove that you did your best. God forbid, let's say something does happen now, even the way that you guys have turned out, and you guys did something wrong. Would that collapse everything else that she's achieved? So I really think that's where there's a flaw. And when I try to explain this to other people, they just don't get it. They just think I'm crazy. Because, if you try to explain, even to my mother thinks, oh my God, I don't know what I did wrong with this girl and the way she thinks on this, with respect to this and having children and all that. But it's really sad to see that everything that my mom has done and everything that she's all her hopes, all her dreams is all just on the children that she's had, when she has so much more potential to reach the world. Let's talk about the people that we always talk about, we always use as examples, like the Mark Zuckerberg and the Bill Gates. They have children and they're married as well, but that's not what we know them for. The world don't know them for their children or their marriage. The world knows them for what they provide, the solutions that they provide for the world. So why is it that we're putting children and our husband or marriage or wives as what we have achieved? I don't get it, and I don't know where this is coming from. So please go ahead.
Yes, so now on the story of my mom. Today, her husband is no more.
Mm-hmm.
And, so at the end of the day, one person is going to die. So if all we're living for is, I have to be, connected to someone. So what if the person ceases it to be?
Yes.
So it tells us that there is more to our lives than all these things that we run after. Yeah, it's great, to have the wedding and the marriage and the children. But what if, like Job, woke up one day and all his children, something happened to them and they all died?
That's an interesting point that you just made with Job. Because, sometimes I do wonder why God put the story of Job, or why the story of Job was in the Bible. With all the things, because the story of Job, it really gets me angry, especially when I didn't really understand. The first time I read it, I thought, why would God do that? Don't play with something like that. Even if you give me another child and another wife, they can never be like the one I had. Do you understand? But one thing that came to my mind was that it's God that gives joy. People have all those things and peace of mind and all the things that you have. And he would also mend the person's heart, Job's heart. But it's a very interesting story. I wonder why God put that story in the Bible, that the things he lost, like his children, his wife, 10 children, not even losing one or two. Even it's hard if you lost one child alone, let alone if you lost two. So what was God trying to say? Please, if you can share that story, what you wanted to say about that story, please do. But I'm just throwing it out there.
Yes, I'm just still trying to say that we're not supposed to be attached to anything in this world. Everybody came singly, everybody is going to live singly. Just like my father has exited, just like everybody is dying every other day, we would come come here, the reason why we're here, which is still the calling thing we're discussing right now, for people and women especially, because why I'm talking about women is not to say that men, they're exempted, but I'm a woman, so let me look at the issues that bother us.
Yes.
Women are really challenged in this area because the society puts a lot of pressure on them. Yeah. Pressure that they have to, at a certain age, they have to, get married, and this becomes the mindset that every woman is wearing out there, and it makes them to feel that if they have not attained this, then they are of no value. They don't have anything to offer to the society. And the more painful thing is that the ones that are unable to find their partners are not stigmatized by the same society. Yes. And it looks as if they have a problem. But every single person in this world, what we should even, if at all people should be stigmatized, people should be stigmatized for not fulfilling calling.
Yes, but nobody cares about that. They care more about if you're married or if you have children. They don't care. I mean, one hurdle is even being married, and then you get to another to that, and then they're wondering why you don't have children as well once you're married. So everything is just warped in society, and we don't have our priorities straight. But yes, I totally agree with that. They should be frowning on the fact that you don't know your calling. You're not. What are you doing? Yeah, so you're married, you have children. So what? That's what we should be saying, but nobody says that. That's just like, in fact, somebody actually told me that you're more respected in society if you're married. And this is a single person that was wearing ring, like he was married. And I was saying, I know that you're not married. Why are you wearing rings? Because they respect him more than if he was just a single guy without a ring. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh my God. Okay.
At least in Africa.
Wow. Let me read some of the comments before we close, Chioma, just a minute. Goldvay says, and those that are married with children will be looking down on the single ones. Yes, they do. And we're saying all these things, guys, so sad. We're saying these things, but I think sometimes we're perpetrators of this as well. I don't think we are also exempt from this behavior. It's now time for us to start changing our mindset and changing the way that we approach people. Sometimes as well, we are putting an accolade on marriage and children. When we see people and you ask them questions if they're married or they have children, why should that be anything important? Except if you want to say something, maybe you're trying to sell them pertaining to children or to marriage. There's no reason to ask that because you're automatically putting value in that as well. There's a subtle way that we do things that makes these things seem that they are of more value than purpose in life. So let's all be careful in how we treat other people and how we approach people as well. Euphoma said that was no lie. We were told marriage equal respect. Big lies. Euphoma, I know it's a big lie. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, at Chioma, we must not be entangled to anything. Thanks for the great teaching by DSA. That's Euphoma that is saying that. Thank you so much, Euphoma. Gold V says, yes, so much pressure. Yes, there's pressure if you're not married. Olabisi says, God bless you, DSA. That is what I have been telling my single friends, men and women. Thank you. Continue to tell them. Maybe one day they would hear. That is right at Maiwa. Thank you so much, Ifoma. You're right, Ifoma. You're right at Ifoma. Okay, somebody is also agreeing. Gift is agreeing with Ifoma. Okay, thank you. Somebody's asking about the book, how the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. That's the latest book. Please go and pre-order on Amazon. It's available now on Amazon. Olabisi says, hello DSA family. Okay, somebody has answered that. Let's see what children are gift from God. Okay, sure, children are good gift from God. That's Oluwaseun that is saying that. That is on one statement I hate hearing from my mom because of the children. I think that's Chioma Ufoma is saying that the statement is one of the statements that she hates hearing because of the children. Everything is because of the children. And sometimes, as a child as well, you feel so burdened that, because of you, your mom wasn't able to achieve what she was supposed to achieve, Chioma, we're running out of time. Actually, we've run out of time by 5 minutes. But I would like you to have the final words. So what do you want to share with the people right now?
Yes, I think that this topic is so important. The issue affecting our women in this generation and generation yet to come. We need to begin to teach our ladies that they need to focus on their calling first before any other thing. Because that's the most important reason why they're here. Fine, they can't get married, but they should first of all discover themselves and that assignment that God has placed in their hearts to do before they find their way into the man's house. I think we need to relieve. It means that we may need to mobilize more people to begin to talk to young people in schools, because it's amazing. People in the university, undergraduates, in third years, they're all getting married, and I'm wondering, what are they going there to do?
I know.
What do they know?
I know that's what they're doing now. Even in England, that's what they do in their third year. As soon as they finish, they're going into marriage straight away, unfortunately. And the church as well are promoting this, all the young people. And they don't really understand that they're promoting this as a business. They even encourage you to marry within the church. Because if you marry within the church, then there's a better chance of you staying in that church and being loyal to that church and not being loyal to your calling. They know what they're doing. So they encourage you, they match you up with one brother or one sister in the church. Without you, I mean, there's a big wide world there. Why is it that you have to marry somebody that is in your church within the same vicinity? It's crazy. And people don't know this, and they're happy, they're going to church, and honestly, there's such a big work that we need to do out there. But I believe in us, and I believe we can do it. Go ahead, Chioma. I want you to finish what you're saying.
Then talking about children, for even the singles, unmarried people, there was a series that DSA did during the summer fast. I think people need to go back and listen to it. Our children is beyond that which we are bringing out of our own bodies. We are the ones that we are bringing out of our bodies. We are a channel to bring them, but beyond those ones, because God has not just called us to our immediate family, He has called us to the world. We need to begin to look at children differently. That was what I learned from that teaching. Mm-hmm. The word children is your field, is that assignment. Could be, your children could even be women, could even be people that you're older than,
wow.
Could even be infants, could even be, young people. So children, let's stop, attacking women because they didn't have any children, because that's not the real definition of children. Your child is your assignment.
Wow.
Is your calling. If you have not embraced your calling, then don't talk about a child, even if you have 10.
Wow.
So really, we need to redefine children, in the right context. So I think I'll close on that.
Beautiful, Chioma. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you even agree to do this with me, and I hope we'll do a lot more of this. And actually, I'm calling anybody else that wants to do this. It's like two friends just having a conversation. You don't need to be nervous. Please write to me. I am Mayowa Olaya on Facebook. So you can write to me and say, you want to do this. You want to have a conversation on one topic or the other, or something that you want to share. We will consider it and we will put it together. We'll have a live program like this and reflect. But let it to be related. Please allow it to be, make sure that it's related to a topic that we're discussing, so we're not out of context with what we are treating right now. And I think this is really poignant. Again, I want to thank you so much, Chioma. So we'll see you. Dr. Sunday will be back in a few minutes. In about 50 minutes. In about 50 minutes. So join us again. It's going to continue the new series that we are discussing now, which has really prompted this immediate action, which is how to overcome spiritual attacks. So please join us this evening. That's 9 p.m. Ukraine time, 7 p.m. UK and Nigeria time. Please join us, and we'll see you again soon. Chioma, thank you very, very much. So bye, guys.
Bye.